said that you think that we develop the functions in order.
Yeah.
I've heard the hypothesis, I guess, that we develop our first function and then our tertiary function and then the auxiliary. What do you think about that? I'm not sure. I have not studied enough of child developments.
Honestly, I'm missing data as well here, so I could not give you a straightforward 100% answer. This is the way I'm working with it at the moment, and the way I see seems to work the best. But I think it's different. It's important for different reasons. The third and the second function, they're important for different reasons. I think the second function, auxiliary in the sense, it's important in the sense that I think it represents our ability to put effort into something that we know is important. You know, we know that the second function is important, but we also know it's not easy to use. Most people tend to say that to go into the second function, you have to really put yourself in there. You have to really work for it and to use it in a good way. But you know it's something valuable. With the third function, it's something different. It's we do it really well, and we tend to be really good at it. But we tend to fall into an autopilot when we use it. We tend to become bored and drained, and we tend to lose steam as the further and further we go into the third function.
Do you think we lose steam faster with our third function than with our second function?
I find that we lose steam in the sense we lose motivation with the third function. With the second function, what tends to happen is we do it and we find it really great and we feel it really important, but we tend to become more and more stressed and vulnerable as we use it. Because using the second function is more challenging in a sense. The second function represents challenge, and the third function represents something easy and comfortable.
I don't know. I don't think I agree.
That's fine. Cool. Tell me.
At least like what I'm observing is people seem to really enjoy their second functions, but I think the energy behind the second function is more of a slow burn, whereas the first and third functions are more like firecrackers. Do you understand what I mean by that?
I would say elaborate.
Okay, so I think the third function is a relief function, but it's got sort of a limited bandwidth. So it's like you're firing quick on it, you're excited about it, but it fizzles out quite easily.
Right.
It's like it's called the child function. I think the third function has the attention span of a child. It gets excited about like different things. It doesn't have a focus like your auxiliary function has. It's hard word to say. So I don't know. I see when people are using their second function, to me, it always appears in a quite deliberate and masterful way. But maybe it's because I'm observing older people who, or perhaps they have a preference towards their second function. But watching an ISFP or an ISTP use their SE versus an ESTP or ESFP, it's a very different relationship, but it's approached carefully and deliberately. And I think they have a lot of patience with it.
Yeah, I would say I see the same pattern that you do. Maybe we just interpret it differently, because I also see ISTP or ISFP going into extroverted sensing a little bit more carefully, cautiously, looking at, okay, what are other people doing? And then seeing, okay, can I do?
Anyway, what were you saying? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay. We were talking about the second function and people's relationship with it.
Right.
Yeah. And the conclusion was we're basically talking about the same thing. We're just calling it differently. I think
Yeah.
I may have a little bit of a bias too, because I seem to like love my second function. I think I fell in love with it and never let it go.
Yeah, but I think you also must have misheard me, because I did say that the second function is the one that people find more motivating and energizing.
Yeah.
And the third function, we don't find motivating or energizing, but we find it easy and convenient and comfortable.
Mm.
It's like also a difference between intrinsic and external motivation. So the second function, it provides intrinsic motivation and intrinsic values. So it provides value to yourself. You might value the third function, but only if you can get positive feedback from other people for it. So you call it the child function. It's a little bit like the child does something great, and then it goes to everyone, hey, everybody, did you see this great thing I did?
Yeah. Well, you're trying to move away from like attaching like yourself to your type, but I wanted to ask you what your relationship was with your child function.
Yeah. I've always seen my child function as introverted thinking, and you can judge what my type is as you wish after this video. But I've always seen it as often at work and in similar situations, I tend to be the problem solver in many senses of the word. Like I'm the person that people can come to if there's a problem with their computer, or if something is not working, or if they get stuck on a problem. And I'm usually the person that can come up with a fix or solution for it. But I'm also the kind of person that can optimize processes. So say people keep getting stuck on a process and it's taking forever and they have to spend a lot of time on it. Say it's processing gift cards, for example. Then I'm the person to look at and say, hey, can we not just create an automatic sheet and just automatically process all these cards so we don't actually have to do it ourselves? And when I do use it, a lot of the time it's I really need feedback from other people for it, and it's I have to other people. It has to have value for other people, otherwise I'm not going to do it. So that's like I would never spend time optimizing my home processes or things I do for myself. But if other people need it,
Yeah,
I'll do it.
that's so interesting. I want to take time and like process that right now, but I won't. But yeah, I always thought of like it seems rather easy through FE. Like it's just, of course, I'm getting social feedback when I use my child function because it's a social function. But I never thought about it in terms of the child function being introverted and the feedback that it receives. But yeah, that does feel very nice.
Yeah, it's might manifest differently if you're an extrovert, of course. But definitely for an introvert, for me at least, introverted thinking is something that whenever I use it, I always have to tell everyone else about it. Look, everyone.
That's so good. Look how smart I am.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I think it's smart too.
Your personality is unique. It's hard to find someone that understands you. Try dating using personality type matching. Find out who you're compatible with using Myers-Briggs and Big 5 personality scores. Download TypeMatch and start dating by personality type compatibility today. TypeMatch, available on App Store and Play Store.